So this is a chunk of the inner core of the stalk from a century plant that's dead and dried out. And it's really, really, really soft and like pithy is the word for it. And kind of an experiment here with this kind of wood. I haven't done it, but this century seems so soft and pithy that I think I can make a char punk wood out of it so that I can use that to catch a spark later. Now the trick with this kind of fire lighting is you have to prepare it beforehand. You can't make charred punk wood without having a fire first. So my fire source this time is the good old reliable Bic lighter, and I'm gonna see if I can char this so that it'll take a spark later. Oh yeah, that looks like it's gonna work really good.
It's still on fire.
It's still on fire. And what you're going for here is that stuff right there. You see how that's kind of gone white? So once you get it to that stage, I happen to have gotten for Christmas this year my lump of coal. So I'm using that tin now. That's gonna continue to smolder in there until all the oxygen inside the tin is used up, and then it's gonna starve it for oxygen. And then I'm gonna have actually a real lump of coal that I can use to start a fire with later on. So that goes in my pouch, and that's part of my preparations for later. Incidentally, that makes a pretty good little hand warmer if you throw a few coals in there. That's not bad.
Okay.
It's just a tiny bit warm, but you know, better than freezing cold, right? So my lump of coal goes in the pouch. We'll use that later. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get some sparks off the back of my frost here with this chunk of quartz and get it to land on this punk wood that I've got partially burned. So we're gonna, this charred punk wood sparks with the frost. That's what we're trying to do here. Let me see if I can even get, I'm getting no sparks. Well, that's not working hardly at all. Let me try it on this knife.
Oh.
I know, it's so pretty, I hate to do it, but you know, that's kind of what it's for. Well, clearly I need better steel. So this is the striker for this flint and steel, which, for this ferro rod, which works really well to just make sparks. And that, we know will work. Look at that.
Oh, it works really quickly.
So we know that caught on that, and now you can blow on that to have it ready to go. So we know that works. The question, yeah, I'd like to kill it, but yeah, the question now is, can we use quartz to get a spark off of the striker? Which is an interesting question. Like if, for whatever reason, you lost this piece of it, but you had this piece of it, could you use this to get a spark? So some of these edges are sharper than others. I'm going to use a kind of a dull corner right here and see if I can.
It appears not.
I think not. I think it's not a high grade enough steel. It was an interesting question though.
Yep.
But that proves the value of the ferro rod. Like all of that time we spent a good 45 minutes doing that, and watch this. With a ferro rod it's this easy. You walk over to a clump of grass, you tear off some of the grass, you take it over to your fire pit, trying to keep it all kind of together-ish so that it'll burn when I spark it. And then all you've got to do
Almost had it for a second.
There. Done. That took a grand total of
Caught the camera.
That took a grand total of, a minute. And so when you've got a good ferro rod, you know that you've got a pretty good chance that you're going to get fire really easily, especially if you're in a dry place like Arizona. If you're in a wet place where you know that it's going to be difficult to find dry wood, then you carry a teeny little bottle, like a pill bottle or a tin or anything you want. You carry a little piece of Vaseline cotton ball, which is super easy to make and easy to carry, and then you know that you can get a fire, because that little Vaseline cotton ball will sit there and burn long enough that even if your wood is slightly damp, if you get small enough stuff, sometimes it'll even dry out the wood enough that it'll dry it, that it'll light it. So ferro rod is definitely the way to go.